Hello again, heretics. This is your prince. Seems like several other Blizzard authors have been caught making some racist tweets against white people, a group I affectionately refer to as the Madeleine Roux crew. This article is by Bounding into Comics. Multiple World of Warcraft authors, including L.L. McKinney and Catherine Valenti, express racist anti-white beliefs, written by Spencer Baculi. I'll be going over this briefly. I'll be mostly looking at the tweets that they compiled. Some may ask, why am I talking about this? Is this white fragility? I am simply bringing this information to people because if you're going to buy a book or participate in products designed or written by these people, you should know if they actively resent you. I know I don't want to buy products from people who wouldn't like me because of my race or my gender. But first, we're looking at a tweet from Cami Garcia. But now we are all in danger unless we are white men. Because as we all know, white men are totally and completely safe. As a commentator on this article had said, ask Rick Moranis. Rick Moranis might be the nicest, most non-threatening person ever in the history of the United States, and just gets attacked by a stranger, just gets slugged in the face. In my opinion, that's a direct result of trying to tell people that white people aren't real people. Here's another cute one, a self-contradictory statement. Jesus F. Christ, discriminating against whites, anti-white racism, these are not real things, people. Just more examples of racism and white privilege. If a person were to knock a white person down on their knees and say, I'm hitting you with this baseball bat because you're white, and then just clock them over the head, that wouldn't be discrimination against white people because they're white, and so they can't be discriminated. It's this weird circular logic that I can't wrap my mind around. You have the privilege of discrimination against you not mattering. You're privileged, so it's okay to hate you. You have the privilege of being openly hated. How does that work? How is that a privilege? Now, here we go. Let's imagine this. If she had said this about anybody, any other race, just think about this. Serial killers and pedophiles are predominantly white males, and they are rarely from underserved communities. Now, luckily, the writer of this article adds a little thing to this. The writer says, despite Garcia's claim, the FBI says otherwise. They report, contrary to popular belief, serial killers span all racial groups. There are white, African American, Hispanic, and Asian serial killers. The racial diversification of serial killers generally mirrors that of the overall U.S. population. There is also provided a link. This takes you into the FBI.gov website where the statistics are brought here, but this is a very long read that I am not going to go through. However, I will leave a link in the description if you want to take a look at it. Cami goes on to tweet, this was in 2020. I always point out to people that the crimes I'm talking about are primarily committed by wit men. I'm sorry. I know she meant white. You can't edit in Twitter. I'm taking a low shot there. I know. They're committed by white men. The media loves to leave that out. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. Every time I see a crime committed by a white man, they make sure to mention it. So the next group of tweets, these nuggets of wisdom come from, let's see here, L.L. McKinney. Well-meaning white women. If y'all just wanna, I don't know, start throwing haymakers at your wayward sistren, you have my support. Yes, commit violence. If you can't win the intellectual argument, just start hitting people. That always works. That always calms everything right down. Folks thinking adopting black children somehow absolves white people of racism instead of providing them with more readily available victims of it bothers me. Oh, you didn't adopt that black kid because you wanted to be a parent. No, you did it because you need somebody to be racist against. Like dot dot dot. Like. Ah, jeez. I can't. People even do it in text. Like white people invented the concept of race in order to be racist. Racism was the goal, not the side effect. I feel like this one can sit on its own. I wasn't there. I don't know how the concept of race came to being. The laws of this land were put in place to protect whiteness and white supremacy, not democracy. The United States is 244 years old. And oh yeah, there were a lot of despicable laws in place. But eventually, slavery was abolished. Civil rights was achieved. Everybody here, every United States citizen has the right to vote. And through all of it, democracy is still held. Democracy has been a constant. So if you really believe that the laws in this country do not protect democracy, you're insane. Oh, now this one's just confusing. WoW is definitely a problematic fave. I mean, every race is coded as non-white. I mean, every race that is coded as non-white is inhuman, bestial, savage, etc. With the exception of the goblins. Goblins, as far as I know, they're like the incarnation of avarice. They're very greedy, unless something changed since I've been gone. But I don't understand the rest of this. How do you read this much in the race? I mean, I don't see the blood elves as white. I don't see the night elves as white. The orcs as white. How does this come to how? What? In public, I find myself more nervous around white men than I ever have. I don't know where their loyalties lie. Being very clear is helpful. You might have a different opinion than me. That makes you dangerous. You're a threat to me and society. How dare you have different ideas? A lot of the best ideas ever to happen in the world were at one time different ideas. You understand that, right? I mean, at one time democracy was a different idea. At one time capitalism was a different idea. Secularism was a different idea. This just very much seems to me to be a demand that everybody has to have the same exact beliefs I do, or they are a danger, they're a threat. I hate the twin boogeyman of giving the GOP ammunition and alienating centrist voters. Like, those people made their choice, and it's white supremacy. We really can't let them affect what we think is right. Well, no, you got a point. There is a point there. You can't compromise your beliefs based on what you think will bring in more voters. That's the politician's job, right? However, if thinking that people who have different ideas than you are white supremacists is just insane. Take this article from the Philadelphia Inquirer. To end fat phobia, we need to dismantle Western civilization. I say no. No. I don't think Western civilization needs to be dismantled just because somebody told you that being overweight is unhealthy. I don't think that doctors telling overweight people that it's unhealthy is a big enough problem that we need to dismantle everything that's been built in the West. And so I have to ask, am I a white supremacist for disagreeing with that? Am I? Are people white supremacists for believing that having sexual preferences is not bigoted? Is it white supremacist to think that maybe communism isn't a great idea? Every day, we see more and more absurd and outlandish beliefs that we have to conform to, or else we're white supremacists, and people are getting sick of hearing it. Old white men who are given chances no one else gets are the plague of this industry, to be honest. Could it be, possibly, that older people have more experience in the industry, know a little bit more about what they're doing? Could that be possible? Oh, now here I think she accidentally admits something that, that goes against the narrative, but it slips by her. Wait, hold on, I better check something. Oh, thank God I'm safe. Okay, yeah, her pronouns are she, her. Okay, woo, dodged the bullet there. There are a lot, there are a lot, as in a great many, of initiatives for diverse hiring in animation, but it's so frustrating to see the lack of support black artists and writers face once they're hired. White people in animation need to recognize our role in stepping back, supporting, and making space. That's right, step down. I mean, nobody's stopping you. Step down. Open that space up for another person. You see, this is, once again, it's never good enough. It will never be good enough. And so these next tweets come from Catherine Valenti, who is followed by Barack Obama. What are you doing, my man? Oh, this tweet's just delicious. Check this out. What are you proud of when you say you're proud to be an American? Because it was probably stolen from Black America and repackaged as white culture. To be sure, there's lots of U.S. culture that doesn't come from its black communities. Notice the walk back. She had to walk that back. Remember, the United States is bad. And so if she says that most of U.S. culture comes from Black America, then yeah, that doesn't look too good because United States bad. So she immediately walks it back. To be sure, there's a lot of U.S. culture that doesn't come from black communities. The imperialism and bigotry is pretty white. Those ideas only belong to white people. Only white people are capable of thinking of expanding their empire or not liking somebody based on their skin color. Which, to be fair, it looks like most of these people have been white. Just so you know, how pretentious. Just so you know, almost everything positive or cool people associate with America, from its music, food, blah 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 blah, was invented by black people, including the word cool. Remember that when you call yourself a patriot. What does one have to do with the other? I call myself a patriot. I love the country. I don't care where the culture comes from. It doesn't matter to me what race or whoever invented it. I like it here. I think the United States is great. If you ask me, the fact that all these cultures came together and kind of molded into what we have now is very cool. I can't believe how many of these that there are. Democrats are normal politicians. A few great, some good, some average, a few terrible. Republicans are effing mind flayers. And the masks are all the way off. The best of them are still white supremacists who would nuke their country for another dime. Both sides are not the same. So, Republicans, tell me, do you agree with this assessment? Do you think that, you just wake up every morning and you're just brushing your teeth? Ah, damn it, there's other races in the world. That bothers me. Is that how you spend your mornings? I'm just curious. Or could she be wrong? By all means, let me know what you what do you think of Catherine's assessment of you. I've been looking for the right way to say. All groups of people can be just as gross predatory as cis white men have shown themselves to be. It's just that most of the rest of us are so busy trying our butts off to be taken seriously, we don't feel the invincibility this takes. Did she just admit that all people are gross and predatory? However, she can't speak for everybody. She doesn't live in everybody's heads. She only lives in her own head. So she is admitting that she's gross and predatory. The only thing stopping her is that she doesn't feel invincible. It's kind of scary, Catherine. Maybe you need to check yourself in. Oh, do you guys remember the Joker craze? How the media went nuts about that? Oh, it would be a shame if somebody shot up a theater. They were practically hoping for it. Here we go. The response to the Joker movie seems like it will be totally healthy and normal. What a brilliant, necessary idea for a film in today's climate. Surely no one will take it the wrong way, just like everyone understood that Fight Club wasn't a manual for life. So many of them were so mad, so butthurt. Yeah, I'm still using that. I'm still using that term. That the Joker was a success. So I don't know, in your face. And now here's the defense. And I've already covered Sella's tweets on another video. These people don't actually think these contributors are racist. They don't actually think these women are sexist. A quick look at their tweets can prove that beyond any doubt. Oh yeah, of course, absolutely, Sella. They care that the people they're targeting are women, and that means they don't belong. Now, you want to talk about privilege? Well, they're women, so you're not allowed to criticize them. I can't imagine using a condition of one's birth to say you're not allowed to disagree with these people. It takes me all the way back to that first tweet. It's okay for people to discriminate against you because you're privileged, but you can't disagree with this other group of people because that's discriminatory. The logic here is mind bending, and it's very dangerous. They set up these rules that basically, let's face it, if you're on the right side of the spectrum, you cannot be right, and then if you're on the left, it comes to this this oppression power level that determines who's right and who's wrong. Eventually, we're going to be ruled by an SSGSS. No, that's not a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. It's a Super Snowflake God Super Snowflake. Yeah, you know what? I made that up. I'm keeping it. I'm proud of it. Now, the writer ends with this, and I feel like it's important to read out because I'm honestly asking the same thing. What do you make of these authors' timelines? Do you agree or disagree with them? Do you believe Blizzard should take any action against them? Let us know your thoughts. I'm basically in the same place. I would like to see a statement from Blizzard. And I don't care what it is. I just want to see a statement. If they have a policy of not policing people's tweets, that's fine. I understand. I would just like to know if that is indeed the policy, or do they approve of this? Even if they came out and said, we do not police the tweets of the people who work for us or contract for us, I would say, fine, fair enough. Fair enough. But understand I'm not going to buy their books. At least that's where I stand on it. And as I said before, I'm just looking to bring this information forward to, 10 or 20 people who might see this video. For those of you who do, thank you very much for watching. I'm very appreciative. If you want to support in any way, there's that like button. Go ahead and do that. I'll be leaving links to social media down in the description. Once again, thank you so very much, and you have a great day.